Okay guys, second video. So we got two, we're going to have two videos because I had an incoming call and I declined it, but then the video started over. So part two. The last thing about money is if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if someone is really, really strapped for money, living paycheck to paycheck, if they don't do something different, what's going to be different in 5 years? Probably nothing. So again, Rodan and Fields is that vehicle that can change things for them financially. It's an answer to a money problem. It's not an expense. It is an opportunity to change their financial situation. So if you don't have enough money, you need Rodan and Fields more than anyone. Some people say that they're not a salesperson. And I think most of us probably feel this way. You know, my background is public health, nutrition, and teaching. I'd never sold a thing in my life. I'd never even worked for a for-profit company. I don't sell my kids' fundraisers, nothing. But I've never felt like a salesperson in this business because it's a sharing business. It's sharing something that I love that has benefited my skin and my life to the nth degree, and I just want to share it with people. And that's what we do in the society we're in these days. You know, we're always sharing. If you want to know a book that your book club can read, you put it on Facebook. Hey, has anyone read a good book lately? If you're sitting with friends out for dinner, people are saying, hey, did you guys see any good movies lately? If you go to eat at a new restaurant, we were at Applebee's this summer and they have a new grilled watermelon salad. It was so good. I must have told 10 people, if you go to Applebee's, you got to get the new grilled watermelon salad. I didn't make any money from Applebee's for doing that, right? But I was just sharing something I loved, and that's what we do with Rodan and Fields. We know it's not for everyone. We know not everybody wants a part of it, but all we have to do is share it, and the people that need it, want it, can get benefited from it, will come to us and do it. So you don't have to be a salesperson whatsoever. You just have to be willing to share Rodan and Fields and talk about something that you love and let your passion and belief shine through. So no salesperson, no problem. We just need people who want to share. Some people say they don't want to bug their friends. And, my husband is a beer distributor. And when he, put something on Facebook about sharing a Coors Light ad or whatever, there's not a person that thinks they're getting bugged by the fact that he's sharing about his business, right? Everyone just thinks that's totally normal. It's normal for us too. We're just a different way of doing business. So don't feel like you're bugging your friends. Again, you're just sharing something. And like I said, when we were talking about the salesperson thing, friends appreciate that. If you find a great brand of jeans that is really flattering post-baby and you tell your friends about it, you're not bugging them. You're adding value for them. You're showing them something that's going to enhance their life, and that is what Rodan and Fields does. So we aren't bugging anybody. And again, we know it's not for everyone. If it's not for them, it's not for them. And I often think about this analogy that someone told me really, really early on in my business, and that is, if you're out for coffee at Perkins for breakfast or whatever, and the waitress comes around and says, you want more coffee? And you're like, oh no, I'm good. You don't dislike the waitress. You don't even dislike the coffee. You just don't want it right then. And it's not a personal thing. So it's okay if someone doesn't want our coffee right now. That doesn't mean they're never going to want our coffee. It just means right now they don't want our coffee, and that's okay. We're not bugging anybody. We're just offering the coffee, right? Some people think they don't know enough people. And I think this is really common. But all we need to do is make sure that people can kind of help them brainstorm all the different people they know. They might be thinking about who they interact with on a daily basis now. And most of us, that's not that many people. I mean, you might see people at soccer practice or whatever, but we all don't talk to like that many people every single day. But that doesn't mean that we don't know people. Think about, your family, your husband's family, the people that you grew up with, people from your elementary, the people in, the clubs you were in high school. Who did you go to college with? Who's now one of the dance moms? Who's the PTO mom? Who do you know from church? Who goes to your gym? Who works with your husband? Who is your sister's neighbors? Who lives in your neighborhood? Who's in your book club? All those different categories of people. We actually know a lot more people than we think we do. And then also, this business is not all about who we know. It's who the people we know, because that's how this business grows. So I can think of a few new kind of rock stars on my team that are just killing this business, and I did not know them before Rodan and Fields. Maybe my husband knew their husband, or someone my husband grew up with, or something like that. So it's not only who you know. It's who the people you know. And then we're always, making new friends and growing our networks, and that's part of the job in this business. So I make sure to, if I do meet a new person out and about or sitting at a game or at church or whatever, I do make sure and, try to establish a relationship with them and ask them if I can friend them on Facebook or whatever, because that's part of my business, is getting to know new people. And when I started this business, I was very shy. And I was the person who would just much rather read a book, put my head down, be on my phone. But now that part of my job is to meet, and get to know more people, I do that when I'm out and about more. And I'm going to tell you, it's really enhanced my life. They, by far and away, most of them don't turn out to be my customers or business partners, but I just have more people in my life now, and that's actually a wonderful thing. So when part of your job is meeting new people, that's actually a really, really fun thing. The last objection I'm going to talk about is the pyramid scheme thing, and I don't even think this really matters. I don't hear this very much. My belief and posture about redundant fields is so strong that I just don't think anyone even considers bringing up something like a pyramid scheme to me. Direct selling is no longer a business that really has a negative connotation that it maybe did years ago, and I think redundant fields has a lot to do with that. We've really changed the perception. And you'll remember last month when I was talking about belief, I talked about this a lot. So if someone asks if this is a pyramid scheme, you might want to ask them, what does that mean to you? Because honestly, if pyramid schemes don't have a product and they're an exchange of money with no service, and obviously that's not us. We grow at 105% a year. We're the largest premium skincare brand. Our anti-aging line is the largest anti-aging line. Our blemish line is the largest acne line. Our company as a whole is the second largest. So obviously we have an awesome, tangible, beautiful, amazing product. So the pyramid thing doesn't even apply. And then also, we grow our networks and help each other earn money. That is a beautiful thing. Like I said, my husband's a beer distributor. He's at the top of his company. He's got a lot of people below him that work way harder than he does, and they'll never make the kind of money he makes. And that sounds way more like a pyramid to me than this business where I share and my people share and their people share and their people share, and we're all helping each other. It's a wonderful way to do business, and there's nothing pyramidy about it. So those are the most common objections that I can think of. Tonight when we're on live, if you have any other objections that you want to ask me about, we can talk about those too. Again, just remember, objections aren't a bad thing. That just means they're thinking about it, rolling around in their brain, trying to figure out if it's a good fit for them. And when someone does raise an objection, we want to make sure and validate it and listen to it and accept it for the reality for that person, and then kind of help them talk through it. So I'm glad to be with you guys, and I will see you tonight live at 8.